Eddie Stobart's trucks are part of the fabric of Britain's roads, delivering goods to every corner of the country.
There's no room for mistakes or errors.
This is precise planning, this is now.
But they're not just masters of the tarmac. Their rail division is also steaming along. And it's liftoff at their airport in Southend with 9 international destinations.
It's exciting times, I think, how the airports come together and hopefully get up to 1 million passengers.
But the truckers are also venturing deeper into Europe in immense convoys.
This is probably the biggest one, 16 trucks.
The journeys are getting longer.
Trying to charge on, you're trying to eat the miles.
Tougher.
This is going to be a nightmare.
And even more challenging.
You do everything right and it still goes wrong.
Whether at home or abroad, the pressure is always on.
Here we go again. What's the worst that can happen? Cruise control on. Sit back, relax passengers, enjoy the ride.
Coming up, Tim Fox takes a turn into trouble in rural Northumbria.
Oh, bollock, right. Here with that little turn.
4 Stobart drivers head to a Formula 1 race and hit the high life in the Alps.
You don't get this driver up down the M6 to the M1.
And the spotters are out in force as the haulage firm's Rugby Super League trailers are unveiled.
It's no one ever, isn't it? No one ever knows.
Haulage company Eddie Stobart started out in the 1960s as a family-run firm. Now it's a multi-million-pound operation called the Stobart Group, employing over 5,000 people across 5 divisions. And one of their fastest growing is Biomass. Every year their truckers deliver over 350,000 tonnes of recycled material, which is collected mostly from isolated pickup points.
It's a bit more of a challenge. There's a bit more to do, and it's just that bit different.
But it's all in a day's work for Biomass trucker, 44-year-old Tim Fox.
If in doubt, turn left.
Tim's first job today means setting off from Hexham, west of Newcastle, to pick up a load of woodchips from a remote location in the Northumberland moors. Then it's a 63-mile journey northwest to a power station near Lockerbie, where he'll tip. Due to the isolated collection point, Tim has no postcode to put into his sat-nav, so he'll have to rely on basic directions.
I believe it's a little bit on the awkward side to get to. Look for a shed on the left-hand side of the tin roof and turn right. That's the address.
But that's not his only hurdle. It's also the rural roads.
Got to come down from this onto a V road and then down from that to a minor road and then down from that to a track. It's basically a stone track. We're all right walking sheep up it 500 years ago with leather shoes on.
Tim's used to collecting in remote locations, but today the shed is the key.
I can't miss that shed. I don't want to be reversing mile or two up a narrow 20 road.
As he comes off the A and onto the B road, Tim's now in the heart of rural Northumbria. That brings him face to face with one of his arch enemies.
Sheep, look at it coming for us. You can see the evil in his eye. Horrible, vicious creatures, they're evil. Through that window, you're like, around your neck. The way they run at you then, who stops you at them up? They come, tell you. See, they're not running away from you, they're running towards you. I like cats. Everybody likes pussies.
But the sheep aren't Tim's only problem.
Oh.
He's suddenly confronted with a 5-forked crossroad.
This is the leap of faith now, this one. If I get this one wrong, it's got to be that. It's that. That. Is it that?
Hedging his bets, Tim goes for the middle fork.
Straight on. Can you see that confident look in his face?
He's now in the lap of the trucking gods.
No, we shouldn't be too far off now. Ah!
It seems like he's made the right choice.
That looks like a tin shed, doesn't it?
But to make sure, he calls his contact at the pickup point.
That shed you said, is it like just tin? It's like corrugated tin painted white. Oh, bollocks, right. It was that little turn.
Tim took the correct exit at the 5-lane junction, but missed the next turning, so it's decision time.
Two choices here now. Now turn it round here, or reverse back to it from here.
It could be the end of the road for Tim. We'll see how he gets on later. Coming up, the firm's Formula One tyre drivers hit the road for an epic 1,200-mile journey.
It's a dream come true, really, for me, to actually be involved in this.
And squeaky clean trucker Mark Dixon could be in a load of trouble.
I've got a feeling since I get there I'm going to get dirty.
Haulage firm Eddie Stobart are giants of the road. They've just landed one of the most prestigious contracts going, with Italian tyre manufacturers Pirelli, who are sole suppliers to Formula One Grand Prix.
Value of those tyres there, about €1,000 each. Massive contract to us, something we'll look to keep for many years to come.
It's Stobart's job to deliver them. This calls for a special uniform. Today, a team of 4 of these men in black are heading to Europe with 1,200 tyres for F1's pre-season test races.
All in all, I've worked for Stobart's for just over 18 years and gone to my 19th one now.
And 2 of those drivers are 44-year-old team leader Phil Cooley and 28-year-old trucker Kumar Zamir.
It's a dream come true, really, for me, to actually be involved in this.
It's not only the uniforms that are different. The £200,000 Stobart trucks and trailers are wrapped in a black carbon fibre livery. The only mention of the haulage firm's name is on the number plate. But before they hit the road, the team have to load up the last trailer with 428 tyres. Identified by colour coding, there are 6 types of tyre used in F1 racing, ranging from wet weather tyres with varying treads for grip, to the smooth, dry weather tyres, also known as slicks. These are used by the F1 teams depending on the tightness of corners and the top speeds on the straights. The compounds that make up the tyres mean they have to be stored at temperatures of plus 30 degrees Celsius so they don't become brittle and crack. The trailers are temperature controlled via an underfloor water heating system. Loading them is an important job.
You just got to stay focused, because you can't load them in the wrong order. They have to be correct.
Each tyre has a barcode which is scanned as they load. As well as ensuring the right tyres get on the right car, it's also a security measure. And this even applies after the race is over.
After the event, it's scanned back into the team, it's crushed all the way through the process. Every tyre is traceable.
With the tyres loaded, the team are about to take on a mammoth 3-day, 1,200-mile journey through Europe. From their base in Didcot, Oxfordshire, they'll travel 150 miles to the Eurotunnel in Folkestone. Once in France, they'll travel 560 miles south, through the Alps via the Mont Blanc Tunnel. Then it's 350 miles through northern Italy to the Mugello race circuit near Florence. The truckers can only drive for 9 hours a day. They'll have to overnight twice, and Kumar knows this is no ordinary cargo.
You know, all the teams can turn up with their cars, but at the end of the day, if there's no tyres there, there's no Grand Prix.
Three hours and 150 miles later, they reach the Eurotunnel in Folkestone, where they board the train.
We'll jump off now and get into the train. Get a cup of tea.
45 minutes later, they arrive in Calais, France. It's time to pound le tarmac for 200 miles to a service station near the city of Reims. It's a 4-hour race into the night, but there'll be no checkered flag unless they can find enough parking for all 4 trucks.
It's one of the hazards of European driving on a late shift is struggling to park up if there's more than one of you. Getting 4 in might be difficult.
For security reasons alone, the last thing the convoy wants to do is split up. But as they arrive at the services, it looks like they're in luck.
There's 3 spaces here on my right if you want to go in. You 3, and I've got one here on the left, so we'll be all right. We can stop here tonight now.
The team can stay together, but before they call it a night, they need to check the tyres are secure.
A little walk around the truck, just make sure everything's, all my doors are locked.
See, the padlock's still on, the sealer's still on, most importantly. That's my checks done for tonight, and I should call it a night.
With the tyres safe, Hotel Scania, as these truckers call their cabs, beckons for the team. But in these digs, there's no need for a bellboy to carry any luggage.
This is my truck, this is my bed for tonight.
Main mud cons all get hidden nicely up the top, out the way. Under this little cupboard with built-in microwave, a meat pie. And underneath here is fridge, freezer, give you privacy. Have a good old patchy fit. Hotel curtains.
Day one over. Tomorrow the boys have a 350-mile drive to the Alps. In Northumberland, Biomass driver Tim Fox is attempting to pick up a load from a remote moor. With no postcode for his sat-nav, he has only basic directions to go by. He's missed a left-hand turn and now has to either turn round or reverse 400 metres down a narrow lane. He's opted for the turnaround in a tight country lane.
I don't think you can go around this. It's not going to go around that. Could be a plan B.
But there's no chance he can swing round his 54-foot truck and trailer here.
Right. Plan B. Reverse it back down to the turning.
That means reversing almost a quarter of a mile down this narrow, windy country road.
It isn't a problem, it's a challenge.
It takes all 25 years of Tim's trucking experience to slowly edge his way back. Ten minutes later, he can finally take the left turning.
Weren't that bad?
He's now heading in the right direction, but this Biomass maestro still has to find the elusive shed where he has to turn right.
The shed we found, well, it was a shed. And it was a rather nice shed, but it wasn't the shed we wanted. Right, is that the shed? Is it that one? Turn at the shed. There's about a dozen of the bleeding things. Like I say, turn at the lamppost. I've never seen so many sheds in all my life. They're having a laugh. It looks like we might have run out of sheds.
Then Tim spots something.
Ah, it's got to be that.
The dusty track opposite matches the description Tim has been given.
It's not a shed, then it's a few rocks with a bit of tin over it.
Tim's had a run of the gauntlet in rural England, but it's far from over yet. The track he's on is a temporary one, and it's already taken a battering.
Well, they've put these boulders in to keep you away from soft bits, keep you away from the edges.
And Tim has heard the stories about those who have fallen before.
On a road like this, and he was on a bit of a bend, the road just gave way. He rolled off, he rolled him over. We were lucky, very lucky. Just take your time. Slowly, slowly catch your monkey.
It pays off. When Tim sees a mobile wood chipper and a mountain of felled trees, he's confident he's in the right place.
You clear all the good stuff out, and then all the bits and pieces that you don't need, we go in and clear that then. But basically, we're the new-news, we're the sweeper-uppers.
In order to be loaded with wood chip, Tim will have to remove his trailer's plastic roll-top roof, but a strong wind could turn it into a kite.
If the wind gets under it, it'll just lift the roof straight up. I mean, I must be 18 stone and I've been dragged up the side of the trailer hanging onto the strap. It's took me halfway up the trailer before now.
So it's Tim Fox versus Mother Nature, 15 feet up his trailer.
The wind's just turned a bit, it's lifted the roof up. So wait for a bit of a lull in the wind. Deep drop settle, then I'll open it, get it open quick then.
The second the wind drops, Tim starts to peel his trailer roof back like a massive tin of sardines. Next job, strapping the open roof down. But that's easier said than done.
I always take a practice throw first.
With the wind this strong, it just won't go over. Then Tim finds a solution.
There's always a way.
Now he's ready to get loaded. In steps the mobile wood chipper. The claw arm feeds the felled trees into an industrial grinder, which chops them into wood chip. They're fired into Tim's trailer at a rate of 1 tonne every 2 minutes. With a full load of wood chip on board, Tim closes up and hits the road.
Jobs are good 'un.
He pounds the tarmac for the next 63 miles to a green power station near Lockerbie.
Right, we're just passing Gretna, so if anyone wants to marry me.
Despite the odds, Tim's had a triumphant run from the remote English moors to Scotland. To get his load off, all he has to do is put his trailer's walking floor mechanism into action. In a matter of minutes, his load of wood chip is off.
Another quality load, well delivered.
Done and dusted, he's off to collect his next load. Eddie Stobart is one of the most recognisable brands in the haulage industry. But their name isn't just synonymous with trucks. They sponsor everything, from a football team to a polo team. Now they're about to step it up a gear by becoming title sponsors of an entire sporting competition. Rugby League's Super League. There's 13 English teams and 1 French. Its brand new name, the Stobart Super League. The haulage firm secured the naming rights by agreeing to advertise the league on 100 of its trailers. 15 of them are due to be unveiled in front of the national press tomorrow at Old Trafford, Manchester. And the man in charge of the event is Special Projects Manager Neil Burden.
That's massive. There's a lot of media there tomorrow. We've even got a helicopter following them tomorrow. It's all about image.
It's 6 p.m. at the firm's witness depot. Neil Burden is about to inspect the special vehicles which have been cleaned. As an ex-Coldstream guard, he's a perfectionist when it comes to a parade.
We need to get something to pull them up on because we've got to keep them on their toes, really.
He's accompanied by his assistant Chris Grice, who's been overseeing the cleaning.
Confident with this one?
Always confident, mate, always.
What's that dent in the roof?
Neil's spotted one of the trucks has been hit hard.
I'll get that sorted tonight, mate.
So this truck will be substituted for another.
I've not exactly been caught with my pants down. I've prepared for it.
1 truck down, 14 more to go. So the game's far from over.
Dirty wheels. Tyre marks! Them tyres need doing again. Told you I'd catch them out.
And Neil's not done yet.
There's a vehicle that we're using as a backup, and this has even not got past the test.
So the lads get to work cleaning. And it soon becomes clear Neil's a big fan of both rugby and the new trailers.
It's the London Broncos. These were the champions last year, Warrington. You even see the stubble and everything. Do you like picking spots? Squeeze it if you want. Detail's quite good, isn't it?
In total, 100 of these specially liveried rugby league trailers will hit the road. Each of the 14 teams in the league will have 6 of the trailers wrapped in their colours. The remaining 16 trailers will promote the Super League. It costs £4,000 to livery 1 trailer alone and takes a 4-man team a day to apply each detailed transfer.
None of these vehicles have actually been seen out on the road. They've been kept under wraps in here.
With a spotters club of more than 20,000 members, that's a lot of people waiting to see them.
The spotters have tried to get in it to have a look and see what's going on in here, but we've kept the doors closed.
Tomorrow, they'll get their chance. Find out how the launch goes later. Coming up, Stobart's men in black come unstuck at the foot of Mont Blanc, but team leader Phil has come prepared.
I'm going to ask them if we can park in the restricted bays. I'll go over with a gift to help them persuade themselves.
And trucker Mark Dixon gets more than he bargained for.
I don't want them. Does he want them?
Eddie Stobart has a contract to deliver tyres to Formula 1 races. The 4 drivers are 350 miles into their epic 1,200-mile journey to an F1 test race in Italy. After spending the night at a service station near Reims, France, they're ready to burn some more rubber. Their target, the Alps. But first, they need to drive 350 miles through France, and Brummy Kamar is not impressed.
It is pretty boring coming through France. It's all flat and there's nothing really to see.
So how do these truckers pass the time?
Jamie, are you there, mate?
With a trucker's favourite, of course, the good old CB radio.
Hi, Kumar. Yeah, I'm just checking in, mate, to see what you got in your secret stash. I don't know, some decent biscuits, maybe some chocolate. Obviously, we chat and stuff, and you have a bit of a laugh and a joke. Take the piss out of each other.
I were my back doors looking today.
It'll be as usual.
And keeping Kamar company are the other drivers, Jamie Bell and Jan Stanacek.
Kumar, where are you? Come on, keep going, keep going. Flat out. Come on, Kumar, we're waiting for you.
I'm coming.
And Polish trucker Jan knows the importance of keeping spirits up when the boys are on tour.
Always away from home, missing about family. Yeah, and make everybody smile. That's what we need.
Time flies when you're having fun. Now for a pit stop, but no fancy French nouvelle cuisine for these drivers.
I've got some pasta with me this time round. I'm just going to chuck it in the microwave, warm it up a little bit. As you can see, it's very glamorous.
A couple of minutes on reheat, and voila! Kumar knows just how important it is to eat well on the road.
Right, that's lunch. I've got my pasta, got my salad, my 5 a day, and I've got dessert as well. Everybody's happy.
And there's nothing like a bit of al fresco dining on the continent. "50 minutes later, and the wheels start rolling again for the final stretch today. In less than 2 hours, the convoy starts climbing into the Alps.
You don't get this driving up down the M6 to the M1. The scenery around here is spectacular.
Hopefully we might even see a bit of snow.
In front of us now is the Mont Blanc mountain range.
All that snow there, all the mountains over there.
See, that's what we're talking about, really. That's the view. Oh, breathtaking.
Truckers can only legally drive for 9 hours in a day, and the team's time is nearly up. So they have to stop at the foot of Mont Blanc, but there's no room for their 4 trucks at the last services before Italy.
I'm going to go over to the little cabin over there now that secures this holding area because we're a bit short of parking area. Asking if we can park in the restricted bays.
Time for Phil to use some Stobart charm.
I'll go over with a gift to help them persuade themselves. Might be a Pirelli cap.
So, caps in hand, Phil sets off to the hut. If he can't persuade the wardens to let the team park up here under the mountains, they could be in trouble.
The very end lane, the 4 of us. It's okay?
When he gets the green light, the caps come out.
Okay, merci.
Have a good night.
Good night. Merci. Oh, wow. You don't ask, you don't get.
So all of the trucks can park together in a restricted area of this stunning service station.
The services on the M6 where you've got nothing to see but trucks and the smell of diesel, and you've got these sort of places where you're in a valley, covered in hills, pine trees. The air doesn't come any fresher and cleaner than it is down here.
I'll sleep well tonight with this view.
Tomorrow, the team will have to take on the Mont Blanc tunnel. See how they get on later. Eddie Stobart prides itself on having some of the best turned-out trucks and truckers on the road. And there's one trucker who's more precious than most about how he and his wheels look.
A lot of people say to me I've got OCD. I'm the same at home. I don't like mess.
34-year-old Mark Squeaky Clean Dixon has been a Stobart driver for over 5 years.
If you work in dirt, your day ain't as good. You know, if you got a nice clean lorry, it's just like being at home.
Mark's a tramper, which means he lives in his truck 5 days a week.
First thing on the morning, you've got to have a cup of tea.
So it's important that he stays house proud, but he's going to have trouble doing so with his load today.
I'm picking up a load of rubbish, really, I think. So, yeah, it's going to smell and it's going to be dirty.
Mark is picking up bales of recycled rubbish from a refuse factory in Ramsbottom, Lancashire. Then he'll drive 43 miles to some docks near Liverpool, where his load will go onto a tanker ship destined for Sweden. But before he hits the road, he calls someone he knows who has a bit of local knowledge, Tim Fox.
I'm going to ring Tim, seeing as Tim lives round here, and ask him why his missus didn't bring me some tea and toast.
Morning, Flower.
Morning, how we doing?
I'm just getting dressed.
Well, I'm ashamed, Tim. I'm parked in your neck of the woods and your missus hasn't come with a bacon butty and a cup of tea.
What are you thinking? Meals on wheels?
But when Tim tells Mark what he thinks his load is, it soon puts him off his breakfast.
I think you're doing shredded waste.
What's shredded waste when it's at home?
You know when you get all your horrible, your household waste, stinking, rotten, the real nasty stuff?
Yeah.
What they do is shred it.
And once it's shred, it becomes biofuel used to burn in green power stations.
I cleaned my wheels yesterday. All right, Tim, I'll let you go. I'll speak to you later on today.
So he's not thrilled at the prospect of taking his beloved truck called Phoebe Grace to this rubbish recycling factory.
Got a feeling since I get there I'm going to get dirty.
Mark may be one of the cleanest truckers on the road, but with almost 20,000 followers on his Twitter site, he's arguably one of the most famous.
Yeah, my Twitter's a bit bonkers. It just grows and grows and grows.
He once put out a rallying cry asking his fans to send him knickers.
Knickers is one of them things you shouldn't see on TV.
It seems Mark's been inundated.
I've had a few sent, let's put it that way. What do I do with them? Clean my lorry with them? Wipe the grease off my fifth wheel? I don't know.
One thing he definitely doesn't know is that waiting for him at the pickup point are a few of his fans.
I'm Alison Fox, Tim's wife. This is our daughter Victoria and Amy, their friend.
We're waiting for Mark Dixon.
And they won't have to wait long because he's just arrived at the factory.
Good morning, I'm Alison, I'm Tim's wife.
Hiya.
And this is Victoria.
Hiya.
Victoria's dad might also be the star of a certain TV show, but it seems like Mark is her favourite trucker.
Come here, give us a cuddle.
There you go.
And he's come prepared with his own signed photos.
Tell your dad I want one of him.
Okay.
I want a massive one.
Right, you do
Blow me a
know
big
that'll
kiss.
happen, don't you?
But Tim has sent Mark something, and it's not a photo.
For your collection.
It's a pair of Tim's rather roomy Y-fronts.
They're never Tim's. They would never fit. I don't want them. Does he want them?
50 miles away and Tim's on the M6 heading north. What does he think Mark will do with the pants?
You better put them on like a mankini.
Mark can't try them on yet because it's time for him to get his load, but not before a quick tour of the factory. The commercial waste is sorted into recyclable material. Whatever waste is non-recyclable is then shredded into a fine fluff. This is now the biofuel, which will be baled up and loaded.
But you'll be carrying me.
I'm glad you're old, mate, not me.
So as his curtain-sided trailer gets loaded with 42 bales, Mark tries to escape it.
It is really dusty, and I can taste it in my throat now, sort of thing.
And with his hard hat off, do a bit of personal preening.
Although my hair's probably a right mess. Is it a mess? I don't wear hats.
Now he's loaded, Mark can hit the road and sail through to the docks where a ship is waiting for his consignment of biofuel. And en route, he can't help but think about the extra load he's carrying.
Tim's pants, oh God. Clean my wheels with them or something.
Whether Mark uses the pants to clean his rims or grease his fifth wheel, they will come in useful with today's dirty weather.
What a crappy day. Stay in my lorry.
With his biofuel tipped dockside and soon to set sail for a green power station in Scandinavia, Mark heads off to collect his next load.
Job done. Let's go find a clean job.
Over at the haulage firm's Widnes depot, it's D-Day for the launch of the Stobart Super League. 15 of their brand new Rugby League trailers are about to be unveiled in front of the national press at Old Trafford, Manchester. It has to run like clockwork. So driving them will be some of the company's finest truckers who have gathered at the firm's academy in Widnes.
Absolutely love the Super League. What was the score last night? 2-0, wasn't it? Oh, sorry, that's that other football.
And two Stobart stalwarts making the journey today are driver trainers Lee Dowling and Matt Eakins.
It's in the size of them blokes, it's in the size of me. I'd get snapped if I was going to play that game.
I'll look after you, mate.
The last convoy driver is just arriving. 30-year-old Fiona Saltjack is one of 14 female truckers at the company.
I'd hope to change the stereotype image of the typical trucker.
Time for a top-secret briefing with Special Project Manager Neil Burden.
This operation has to be run like a military operation. While you're on your way there, keep together. Keep as close as you can without being silly, yes? Got the local police involved. Today, nothing can go wrong.
But together, the convoy of 15 trucks is almost half a mile long. Today, they'll be travelling from Stobart's inland port in Widnes near Liverpool, 31 miles to Old Trafford in Manchester, where they'll have to get into a special formation.
Now, this is where it gets complicated, and you really, really need to listen to this bit. If you get it wrong, it's all.
The trucks will form a H-shaped rugby post in one of the stadium's car parks. That means each truck has to enter the location in a specific order, depending on their place in the formation. With only 2.5 hours to get there and line up, it'll be tight. Waiting for them will be the national press, as well as some of the Super League superstars, much to Fiona's delight.
I'll be looking forward to seeing the rugby captains and meeting them all.
Time for the drivers to collect their trucks from one of the firm's depots the other side of Widnes. Hordes of spotters are already there, all of them hoping to be the first to catch a glimpse of one of the new fleet of super trailers. And the first in position at 6 a.m. this morning was 28-year-old Dale Dickinson.
It's a massive day for spotters. You've got to be ahead of the game. It's competition always to get the most spots. So it's good to be here first as such and hopefully get more than the others.
And being this much of a fanatic takes commitment.
It's dedication. It's an obsessive hobby. I got up this morning in the freezing cold. I went out to the hospital car, left the girlfriend in bed who hates Stobart. So she's wrapped up warm while I'm out, dedication, spotting some new trucks.
He may not be the greatest boyfriend, but he's a brilliant spotter who always comes prepared.
Typical spotter's kit, I've got my point and shoot for video. I'm going to be taking a video of them as the trucks are leaving. But I've got my main camera for taking the good photos.
Bang on 11 a.m. and it's time for the convoy to leave.
It's now or never, isn't it? Now or never.
How very exciting.
With so much media attention, it has to run without a hitch, so Neil watches every single truck leave. Outside the depot, spotter Dale is also ready for the big moment.
It's getting exciting now.
But he's got competition. Spotters are everywhere. But none are as prepared as master of the multitask, Dale, with his 2 cameras. The convoys are on the road, helped along by a police escort.
Sun's shining, job's a dream.
Now heading out of Widnes and the word is out. The whole route is lined with spotters.
Yeah, they get absolutely everywhere, don't they?
The convoy of trucks soon hit the M62 and the police escort ends.
As much as we're trying our hardest to stay together, there is hundreds of other people on the road.
And it's no mean feat keeping 15 trucks together. As they approach Manchester, Fiona and the truck behind her are separated from the pack.
Just proper got my foot down, like catch up a bit, get this sort of distance back again.
She catches up on a motorway slip road, but there are 5 cars between her and the next truck in front. And when the traffic lights change to red, Fiona and the last truck are left behind.
Sod's law, eh?
With just over an hour until the press launch, will Fiona make it on time? Find out later. Coming up, Stobart's Formula 1 tyre truckers climb further into the Alps.
You just go that little bit steady and hope you don't tip it over.
And time's running out as these Super League trucks attempt the rugby post formation.
Did these cars move?
Eddie Stobart's very own Men in Black are transporting 1,200 tyres to a Formula 1 test race in Mugello, Italy. It's taken the truckers a day and a half to drive from Oxfordshire to the foot of Mont Blanc, France, where they spent the night.
You can't beat a fantastic view like this first thing in the morning. It gets you going.
Today they're about to cross into Italy for the last leg of their journey. That means driving their 54-foot trucks and trailers up a steep, windy road in the shadow of Mont Blanc.
Runs right round the side of the mountains, very tight and twisted.
It's getting a bit more interesting now. It can be hard to drive coming up here. There's quite a big drop down here. You just go that little bit steady and hope you don't tip it over.
Almost an hour of climbing later, and the team arrive at the Mont Blanc tunnel. It houses a 7-mile road that runs right under Europe's largest mountain, connecting France to Italy. Phil's travelled the tunnel hundreds of times, but even he has to keep his wits about him.
Yeah, you have to concentrate going through a tunnel like this. It is quite narrow, it's two-way traffic. And being sitting on the right-hand side with the left-hand drive trucks coming towards you, they always feel they're very close to the curb. Whereas I always feel I'm very close to the centre, so the wing mirrors there's not much distance between them, they look quite close.
After 15 minutes underground, one by one the convoy comes out.
We're in Italy now, and as you can see, the view has just got better.
In France, it was a slow ascent up the Alps. Now it's a slow one down.
Well, we're just nearly 1,400 metres above sea level, and within the next 50 kilometres we'll be down near sea level, so it puts a lot of pressure on the brakes.
The last thing they want is a runaway truck on a road like this.
You're sort of constantly holding the truck back. They could run away with you.
So Phil's 26 years of trucking experience comes into play.
We just use the exhaust brake a lot. It blocks the flap across the exhaust system and restricts the flow of gases, puts back pressure in the engine and slows it down.
It's a good job he's in pole position, sitting confidently at the front of the pack. As they pass through tunnel after tunnel, the CB is red hot as the truckers admire the scenery.
The view is really, really nice.
I was just taking in the views, mate, just going that little bit steady.
Even Phil's inner poet comes out.
Views like this, I don't think you can ever get fed up of. Towards the autumn, it goes to brown and the reds, and spring, I mean, another couple of weeks, so you get the flowers coming through as well, the blossoms on all these trees on the lower level. So it's always different and always spectacular.
Soon they're deep into Italy, heading for the coast. And the sights haven't stopped, even if they're not scenic.
Oh yes, it's reading a book.
This driver is actually reading a novel behind the wheel of his car on the motorway.
It's just beggars belief what some people do while they're driving.
And Jamie's copped an eyeful before.
People don't realise that because we are higher up than the car, we can actually see inside the car most of the time. In the heat of the moment, some people get a little bit excited.
One thing that is still getting hotter is the weather. As the convoy closes in on the Italian Riviera coast road, the stunning vistas continue.
We're just passing on the outskirts of Genoa at the moment.
But these seasoned truckers are having a debate over which road is better, this coast road or the one down from Mont Blanc through the Alps.
The Mont Blanc is, for me, one of the most amazing sights I've seen driving today.
This is way better, mate, way better. Blanc's better for scenery, but this is a better driving road.
Staying faithful to his Mont Blanc is old Jamie.
Kumar and Phil's minds are firmly made up.
This road just now is quite exceptional, really special. Possibly better than the Mont Blanc, I'd go so far as saying.
It's definitely got to beat driving up and down the M6 or the M1, strutting the traffic, 3 lanes of chaos and madness.
Life is good at the moment.
In 3 days, they've overnighted twice, clocked up 1,200 miles, driven through 3 countries, passing under sea and mountain.
Come on, keep going.
The most important thing is we've got our tyres here on time, but more importantly, safely.
As they cross the finishing line, there's only been one team in this race.
Get in, Eddie Stobart team.
Back on home turf, 15 of the haulage firm's Super League trailers are en route to Old Trafford Manchester, where the national press are eagerly awaiting their first glimpse. They're going to form a H-shaped rugby goalpost in one of the stadium's car parks. The convoy's just arrived. Matt Eakins is in the 5th truck.
We've made it. Woohoo!
But as they pull into the car park, 2 trucks have been lost at traffic lights.
He's following me, so he must have faith in me.
Now Fiona is leading this 2-truck convoy, but she's not sure where she's going.
I'm assuming we can move over to... Did he say there was roundabouts to go over first? Just because I'm not entirely sure.
She could have a lifeline.
I can see another Stobart lorry anyway. I think.
But it wasn't. Luckily, a road sign points the way.
Manchester United. Okay, well, we've made it here.
And it's a good job, because Special Projects Manager Neil Burden has just 90 minutes to get the trucks into a rugby post formation.
Need these cars moved?
We're going to be so tight.
That's it, they're all in.
Driver-trainer Lee Dowling's truck will be part of the horizontal crossbar, so it means some precision driving.
That's it, no, but no more. Let's go on, bring it off. Right hand down. Straight back, Lee, straight back. Straight back, get ready to stop.
Lee's 15 years experience as a trucker shine through.
Spot on. Can't beat that, can ya?
Well,
after 25 minutes of toing and froing, 13 of the trucks are soon in position.
When it's all done and dusted, I think it'll look the part.
With less than an hour until the press launch, there's just 2 trucks left to get into formation, but it'll be tight. First up, Fiona.
oh. Nice and straight row. Stop, stop. Left, keep going, straighten up. Come on, get a grip, Fiona.
In less than 5 minutes, she's in place, leaving a comfortable 50 minutes for the last truck.
God, that last one's going to have fun, isn't he?
You're going to have to try and screw it in the best you can.
Driver Stu Price is going to have to shoulder one of the fiddliest manoeuvres in the trucking book. With only a few metres leeway, he has to line up his 54-foot beast into position.
Right hand down. Back over again.
Over 10 minutes of shunting later, and Stu is confident he's there.
Bit of a challenge, but we're getting there now. Hopefully it's straight.
But perfectly lining up the final truck with the others means every inch counts.
About 6 inches more. Right, straighten it up. No, oh, right forward.
All the other drivers can do is watch.
Take me out to the fella. I wouldn't like to have done it because he's under a lot of pressure at the moment.
Too far over. Come back. Just get the back over a bit. Park.
An agonising half an hour of constantly turning the wheel can take its toll.
Very, very slow, so it is a bit hard on the arms, yeah, definitely.
With minutes until the launch, the players are in the dressing room and the media start to gather. Neil decides to go for a different tactic. Driver Stu will have to try and parallel park.
We've just put some chalk lines down to try and give the driver a bit of view to see where he wants to be. You're there. That's it. It just wants the unit across a bit. You're there. That's it. Magic.
The plan worked. It's taken almost an hour, but stalwart Stu's cracked it.
No tyres left.
Was a little bit tight, but we got there in the end.
The media are waiting. The players are coming out.
OK, good to go.
This is the moment Fiona's been waiting for.
Look at them thighs. I've seen muscles on legs that I didn't know existed.
The players from the 14 teams in the Stobart Super League have photos in front of their club trailers. Matt Eakins meets someone who could be his twin brother, just slightly bigger.
Like a tank, innit, you know what I mean? It's just...
Even Fiona gets her chance to get up close and personal.
Perfect.
That was the warmest position I've been in all day.
The day has been a resounding success.
Smiles for his ball.
But Neil's day isn't over just yet.
Got to get everybody out now. How do we get them home?
Next time on Eddie Stobart Trucks and Trailers, day driver Jimmy Callahan pulls the short straw.
Not the best of drops, trust me. You'll see when you get there, honestly. God, nightmare.
Rookie driver Paul McIntyre hits the road and feels the heat.
Driving a truck, it's a lot of pressure on yourself.
trucker Ashley Maddox is running out of driving time and places to park up.
I don't particularly want to be stuck in a lay-by on the side of the dual carriageway.